Hello and welcome back to MBA Monday. I am Angela Guido, the founder of Career Protocol. And today I am going to address one of our most frequently asked questions in the comments of our videos, and that is an online MBA worth it? As I frequently like to do, I'm just gonna come out with the answer right here at the beginning, and then I'm gonna explain to you how you wanna think about your own decision process so that you can make the choice that's right for you. Remember, no two people are the same. No two careers are the same. The advice that I'm gonna give you today may not fit your situation, but I'm gonna give you tools to figure out how to make the best choice for you if you keep watching this video. But without further ado, here's my answer to the question, is an online MBA worth it? I think that in the majority of cases, the answer is probably going to be no. I know that may not be a popular opinion. And the first thing I want to say is if you have an online MBA, so my expertise is really in the realm of top full-time, part-time, executive, in-person programs. These are the schools that I know inside and out, that I've helped hundreds of people get into. So my expertise is really confined primarily to in-person programs. I'm gonna give you our framework for evaluating which schools are right for you within those programs, and you can apply that to your understanding of online programs to decide if an online program is really right for you. But if you are watching this video and you have an online MBA and you found it to be super valuable to your career, you got a return on your investment, you advanced your career, you have more confidence, people respect you more, you're doing a better job in everything that you do, and you gained that through an online MBA program, please let me know in the comments. My expertise, again, is not online MBA programs, but as you'll see in a minute, if you use the framework that we use to help people decide if even an in-person program is right for them, an online MBA program may end up not being worth it to you. But prove me wrong. If you have an online MBA and you really loved it, please leave a comment for everyone to see. I'm really excited to hear from those of you who had a great experience with online MBA programs. By the way, if you are listening to me right now and thinking, I'm not even really sure what I need to get out of my MBA program. I don't know what kind of program is gonna be best for me. I don't know how to calculate what's gonna make the investment worth it for me, then you need to play our email game. Just scroll down to the comment area and subscribe at careerprotocol.com/join. And then I will personally be in your inbox twice a week, guiding you through the 12 steps you need to take to get ready to apply to business school. It's free, it's amazing, you're gonna love it. Go and subscribe right now. Okay. As always, when you're making decisions about your career, you have to be really, really thoughtful and insightful about your specific situation, what you actually need, and where you can get that in the way that is the most efficient, the most affordable, and the most beneficial to you. So here's the framework that we use when we're helping our clients decide if any MBA is even gonna be worth it to them in the first place. There are 4 major components that people gain value from in their MBA program. And those 4 pieces are the credential itself, so that little stamp on your passport, the 3 letters after your name, all of that, marketing sort of surface level appearance that the MBA gives you. The second thing people are looking for is the network. So the people they're building genuine relationships with during their program who will become their friends, collaborators, mentors, employees, employers in their life post-MBA. The third thing is the opportunities that an MBA facilitates. These are not in priority order because everybody has slightly different priorities, but the opportunities for work that an MBA facilitates post-MBA can be the hugest benefit, certainly to in-person programs, when you have the chance to recruit at companies that would otherwise not consider your resume, but they will consider you as an MBA graduate of a given program. So that's the third thing. And the fourth and final thing that people gain from the MBA itself is the education. And that's the curriculum, it's the classes that you take, it's the reading that you do, it's how you're growing intellectually during your program. So again, before you look at those four components and evaluate them against any online MBA program, you need to first stop and ask yourself, which of those is actually really, really important to me? So for example, if you're trying to make a radical career change, then the opportunities for recruiting that the MBA provides on the back end could be the most important thing for you. And you really want to evaluate schools that give you the chance to make the move that you want to make post-graduation so that the rest of your career is established on the trajectory that you want to be on. On the flip side, maybe you love your job. You're planning to stay exactly where you are. You have no need to move. You have no need to stop your work and study full time to advance your knowledge and enhance your confidence in your own leadership abilities. And in that case, the education as well as the credential might end up being the most important thing to you. And in that case, an online MBA program may actually be a great fit, but you need to think about where you are and what you really are hoping to gain. What I find is that on average, the people who are looking towards business school are in some kind of a rut. You're in a position where you've done some stuff, you learned some stuff, you figured out a few things that you like, figured out a lot of things that you don't like. You know you like to be in business, but you're not exactly sure where you want your career to go. You just know you want to get out of here, wherever here is. You want to move on from wherever you currently are in your career. And if that's the case, then all four pieces of the MBA are going to be really important to you. So keep that in mind. But let's look at how online programs stack up to those four components of value that MBA programs offer. Let's first look at the credential. You'll be able to put the letters MBA after your name on your LinkedIn profile, which I'm not actually even sure one should do. But if you think you want to put the letters after your name on your LinkedIn profile and on your resume, you want to have MBA listed on your resume, then most online MBA programs will, of course, give you that credential. That's part of what you get as a graduate. But then you want to think about who are the people that are going to be looking at that resume and who are the people that you're going to be seeking to build your career through. And then you have to also consider how they will perceive the brand of the MBA that you are pursuing. Goes without saying that top schools will impress people who care about that MBA credential more than if you pursued an unknown name or a private institution or an online MBA program. But at the same time, just having the MBA after your name could be enough to get you where you want to go next in your career. But this is something you have to be really thoughtful about, because just an MBA, as someone commented in one of our videos last week, the MBA can also be a liability. It can signal to people that you might be too expensive for them to hire to do the job that they want you to do. It also can have a reputation in certain circles as being for people who like to think they're really important when really they haven't put in the time in the trenches to get good at whatever job it is that they're being required to do. The MBA credential is not in and of itself an absolute good. It means different things in different circles to different people at different times in people's career. Don't pursue that credential purely for the glamour of those three letters. And even if those three letters are really important for you, make sure that you're scrutinizing the quality of the program as it pertains to your likely network before you pick any MBA program, never mind whether it's full-time, online, executive, or part-time. Second aspect of the MBA program that people really value is the network. And this is the one where I fail to see how online programs are really gonna deliver this value. Think back to your university experience. Think back to college when you were like on campus, hanging out with people, going to class, working in clubs to make things happen. Perhaps you even lived in a dorm situation where it's like 24/7. You're surrounded by the people that are becoming your friends. And if you think about how friendship is really formed, it requires sustained interaction, and it really requires in-person interaction. This is not to say that you can't build extremely meaningful friendships online and maintain them online. Of course, that is possible. But the likelihood that you will do that in the structure of an online program, from my perspective, is quite low. Just think about how this is gonna work. You're gonna show up into a Zoom lecture where nobody can see anybody else, or if they can, they're focused on the professor, they're focused on the conversation that's happening. You might hear what people say, but you're probably not collaborating in any kind of real sense. And even if you do collaborate in a real sense, it's likely to be for a short period of time in one class, maybe two classes. It's not like you're gonna have a lot of conversations on the quad. It's not like you're gonna be in a club where you meet every week and try to make things happen for the benefit of your community. This is how the most meaningful friendships are formed in an in-person MBA program. And you lose almost all of that when the class situation becomes remote. So if you're thinking about pursuing an MBA for the new friendships, for the network that you're gonna build, really scrutinize very, very carefully how the online program facilitates the building of relationships. I'm 100% sure that they will market this as a benefit of the program. MBA programs are smart. They know how to communicate against your concerns. But really look beneath the hood. Really try to understand, how am I going to use this online program to cultivate actual relationships that are going to help me in my career and whom I can help in my career. Next big benefit of the MBA program is the opportunities. Full-time MBA programs offer extensive recruitment opportunities post-MBA. There's a whole team of people whose entire job it is to court corporate recruiters at big companies that their students are interested in, bring them to campus, to get those companies to spend money to come to campus, to court their students, to have events, and then to interview their students and offer them positions at the firm. This doesn't happen by accident. Companies aren't just sitting there thinking, we should just pop over to this school and grab a couple of students for our next hiring round. That's not how it works. The schools have to actually work very hard to convince companies to come and recruit students on their campus. It's an incredibly important job within the MBA world. It's a very difficult job, and it's one that is constantly subject to pressure and stress. As the economy moves, companies need fewer employees, so the schools have to really work to fight to make sure that their students are getting a part of the new hires that any given firm is recruiting in a given year. They have to make sure that the caliber of the student body is so high that the companies really want to come and grab those students for the next recruiting season. It's a very sophisticated and complex mechanism by which full-time MBA programs are able to offer opportunities to their students. I guarantee you that no online program has as much resource invested in helping their students get jobs as the full-time programs do. However, they hopefully have at least some. So if making a career pivot, if making a transition through the MBA is really, really important to you, then be sure to investigate this aspect of your target programs. You need to ask really specific questions. How does placement work? How does the school court employers so that there are companies waiting to hire us as we graduate? What are the resources, the support that the school provides to help me revamp my resume, prepare for interviews, even network? Now, remember, the school isn't responsible for your effort. You're still the one who has to build your network, who has to prepare for interviews, who has to revamp your resume. That's true even at full-time programs. But ideally, the school will provide some resources and even a little bit of light coaching to help you make the most of that opportunity. The fourth benefit that the MBA program provides is the education itself. And while this is, in most cases, a substantial aspect of the value that MBA programs convey, most people would say, in the fullness of time, that it was not the most consequential aspect of value that they derived from their own MBA program. This is because of the fact that to really be good at business, you gotta do it. And if you're in a full-time two-year MBA program, there are not really any stakes. You're in a classroom environment where the worst thing that could happen is that you might get a B or maybe even a C. Very likely you're being taught not by practitioners, but by academics, people who have interesting theories about business, but don't actually have any experience doing it themselves. And so the frameworks you'll learn in business school, the tools that you'll cultivate, and the confidence in you and your ability to do business that education will provide are valuable. But I think most MBA graduates, even ones who went to top schools and paid top dollar for their MBA, I think most MBAs would say that that alone was not worth the investment of the MBA. It was useful and they were glad they got it, but the investment was justified through other means. So if you're in a situation where you feel like you need the education of an MBA, and that is true for a lot of people who begin the MBA degree, whether they feel that way on the backside is a different question. But for a lot of people who begin the MBA degree, they do feel like they need that education. And so if you're in that position, you want to think really, 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 really carefully about exactly what knowledge you need. If you're trying to make a big career pivot, so you need to build out your generalist skill set, there is a chance that an online MBA will give you exactly what you need, but then you want to make sure that the price is right if the other three components of value will be significantly diminished vis-a-vis a full-time program. So, you can figure out an equation. There are 4 pieces of value that an MBA provides. Let's even just brute force divide the price of an MBA by 4. All right, so you get rid of the opportunities, you get rid of the network, you get rid of the cachet of the credential, and all you're left with is the education. Well, then the online MBA should cost a quarter of what a full-time MBA costs, and no more than that. In fact, we might even discount it substantially below that. The thing that I always get concerned about when I look at online MBA programs priced in the vicinity of full-time MBA programs, just from the standpoint of tuition, this to me is a miscalculus on the part of the school. I don't believe that they are delivering as much real value to their students in the vast majority of cases as the full-time MBA is. Now, that may not be true for you. You may decide that you're going to pursue an online MBA from a really reputable institution. So the cachet of the degree itself will be increased. Maybe you're going to go to the University of Michigan or Kelly or one of the many top 20, top 30 programs that have reputable online MBA programs. So you're going to get the value of the credential. You're going to get some of the value of the network because you'll be associated with the broader network of that program. You're going to get at least some opportunities because they're going to help you source jobs post-MBA, and you're going to get a really solid generalist education in business. If all of that is what you need, then a really reputable online MBA program might be the right fit for you And it might be something that you can more easily fit into your life. You can more easily afford it. You might even have your employer helping you pay for it. There are a lot of ways in which an online MBA program could actually be really great for you. But be sure to do that calculus yourself. You need to think about, what do I need? And how much am I willing to pay given the expected return on investment for this specific program? And so here's the last thing I want to say about the education of the MBA program online. I think the vast majority of people who go to online MBA programs would probably be better served by creating their own curriculum through books, through platforms like Udemy, through entrepreneurs and successful business people who are offering courses online to teach what they did to grow their business or grow their social media or market their products. You would probably be better served by much more affordable, circumscribed, skill-based education that you can pursue on your own to help you be better at the job that you're doing, to help you be more qualified for the next jobs that you want to have. If the education is the primary reason you're seeking an online MBA, really carefully consider the alternatives before launching into an online MBA program, which will likely cost a lot more than those other opportunities and give you a lot of knowledge that may or may not be relevant to your exact situation. This is where you have to be really judicious, because an online MBA program includes a lot of generalist stuff that isn't actually useful in most contexts. So if you're in a position where you are good at your job and you just need to enhance your skill set to keep moving up, good chance there are better online education opportunities than a full-on MBA for that. That was a really, really long video, but I really hope that you find this information and the questions I am posing to you valuable as you seek to advance your career in the most effective and efficient and cost-effective way. The whole channel is about the MBA program. I have an MBA. I would go back and do it again 100 times out of 100. I do believe that an MBA can be a really useful career accelerant, a really great learning experience, and a really great way to move your career in the direction that you want it to go. But not all MBA programs are created equal. And if you're considering an online MBA program, you have to really be judicious about what's right for you and which programs, online or otherwise, are going to actually give you what you need to advance. I know it can be really hard to figure this out on your own. That's why I hope earlier when I mentioned it, you scrolled down and subscribed to our email game so that you can have access to all of the guidance that we provide to our community for free. If you didn't already, it's careerprotocol.com/join. And while you're down there, subscribe to MBA Mondays so you don't miss a single piece of all the advice I am dishing out here every Monday. I'll see you next time. Don't pursue that credential purely for the glamour. Don't pursue that credential purely for the glamour of those 3 letters.